Hi there, it's Ginge and welcome back to a new video. Today marks the day of a brand new series alongside our modded series Costa Zero. We are starting a completely unmodded vanilla series with all DLC on this lovely Sunset Harbour map of Zero Golf. Welcome to the Streadlands, the name of our city's region and a temperate climate that will soon become home to thousands of sims in bustling cities with harbours, airports and much more. Our goal in this series is to show that you don't need fancy mods assets to create a well-functioning and beautiful city. All that you need is patience and a little bit of pre-planning, and to test that if I can build a city without move it. So without further ado, we shall start construction on our very first town. Sit back, relax and enjoy. So just going to get rid of this little box here, and I'm going to zoom out and have a look at our starting square. Now we have one highway connection and we have it connecting to the main bypass route for our sims. And I think we're just going to continue that road up through our starting peninsula here. And later on down the line, maybe connect it up with a highway just up here a little bit more. Maybe there. But that would be a lot later down the line. So I'm just going to start. We don't have much unlocked right now, but if we make a small little segment and just delete that, there we go. We have a few more roads unlocked, including these 2-lane one-way roads, which we can just use temporarily to extend these out. Now 90% of the time I start City Skylines by doing a roundabout at the entrance and then carrying that on somewhat. And I think today we're just going to extend the highway on instead and then connect. Now I'm just going to do a basic cross connection here, just for now. But for now this marks a nice little starting point just to come off of here, a little bit over 1, because we want to keep a nice separation between the highway area and our residential zones up here. Might even want to upgrade it to that. There we go, I like that. So I'm pre-planning the town ahead. I want this all to be a main highway artery to go along here and curve up and round to the backside here. Now we want a main artery coming through our town, and I'm just going to build one road up, one gap, come down. I don't want to get too close to this highway, remember, so I'm going to come out 2 segments, come up 1 and 1 square more, up and down, and I forgot to change that. So I'm going to upgrade these side roads to 2-lane with sidewalks, just because I don't want any parking around the residential areas. And I'm going to copy that on this side. There we go. So we have a little base area for our residential district. However, on the opposite side here, far away from the residential area, I would like to do a little dirt road. And I'm going to have this be our industrial area just for now. The beginning industrial areas aren't normally. Once we've got the basic roads figured out, we really want to come in and figure out our electricity and our water supply. So looking around, we have a good fair amount of wind power, but I never really find that the wind power is enough. So I'm going to go with a coal power plant. And I want to bring this back here. And I would like to have the coal power plant as far away as possible. And we're going to run this pylon down on this side of the road. There we go. And this should connect us to our residential areas and our industrial areas over here. And now we have to think about water and sewage. So we have 2 here. One is water for the sims. We have the water tower and the water pumping station. I don't really like to use the water pumping station. I like to use the water tower, even though it has a lower pumping capacity for more money. I think it just looks nicer. There. And of course we want to connect that up with power too. And now we want to think about the sewage treatment. I also don't like using the water draining pipes because they make the water around your areas look disgusting. So in our water treatment pump it is. And I'm going to have that over by the power plant over here as like an add-on. I think it looks quite nice. That's like a whole facility sort of looking. We're going to make this look a lot nicer as we go on, but for now it just doesn't look that great. And then really think about water pipes. I'm going to do a city planner place here and just go under the roads, and there we have it. So now we have to think about zoning. The first bit of zoning I would like to do is our residential areas in these blocks here. Now I could easily just one click and press that, but I don't want to do that. So this tool here, we can use this to precisely zone areas, and I'm not going to zone one by one like that because I just want to get some residential in, and I don't really care about the death wave later on. And as I'm going along, you'll notice that I'm actually not zoning in these middle bits here. I like to add pathways in between, just add a little bit of detail and some more walkability later on. And now we have some commercial areas that we need to place down, and I would like to put these on these main road on this main road here. And these ones I am going to place out just a bit randomly, just to make it look a little bit more nicer. And I'm paying attention to keep away from this road here, just to stop the buildings from spawning on this road and causing traffic pileups here. There we go. And for industrial, we just want to like mass zone this area. I don't really care about industrial right now. We're gonna change all of this later on. And there we have it, our basic layout. So I'm gonna let this play. Let some of the buildings spawn in and let some of the Sims move into their new houses. Oh, and we have our first people moving in. Oh my god, this. Oh wow. First person we have move in is in a clown car. Oh my god, thank you. Kathleen Davies, thank you so much for the park residence. Oh, just here, nice. And you're facing that way, of course you are, Kathleen, of course you are facing that way. So you notice that we have gone into the minuses, that we will always go into the minuses because we don't actually have people that have moved in and working and paying just yet. Oh my god, look at them all. Oh, how exciting. Oh my god. The first founders. They are really piling in, aren't they? Oh, I love it. So, while I'm waiting for all of these people to file in, oh my god, look at them back there. I'm also going to click on these and make some of these historical. I like these ones with the parking spaces out the front here to be on this main avenue. It's the kind of theme we're going for. I'm not a big fan of this one. So we'll let that upgrade. Hopefully that changes into a bit of a better building. So I like this big main avenue here too, because I would ideally like this road to also extend up as a secondary sort of artery to hook back onto the motorway up here, just to allow some more slower, more dense traffic to move through the town. So it looks like we actually need a bit more residential areas. We didn't actually place enough to get the next milestone, but that is fine. So we will continue to extend this area up. So I like using these ones here because it gives the impression of a much more quieter sort of neighborhood with cars not parking on the roads. So I don't actually think we have enough room for another block here. So this is gonna go right up against the highway. I'd like to there we go. So I am playing with no mods and no custom assets, and in options we are playing with the cold color correction override. We're playing with just the vanilla textures as well. And big main roads like this, I like to actually build with dirt just to pre-plan them out. I think it looks nicer, and also it's cheap to build and demolish. And there we go, we have hit our first milestone of Little Hamlet. We've got taxes, loans, healthcare, garbage, all the good basic stuff. So out of the three, obviously garbage and education is a bit more important. Healthcare is a bit wonky in this game, so we're gonna leave healthcare out just for now. And I'm gonna place my garbage up in this area here, along with the other ugly stuff I don't want to look at right now. So I'd like to extend this road up using a dirt road to about here. And then as we're getting a bit closer to the shores there, I think maybe if we go out to, down to, just like that. And then we can sort of snake round and back up like that. I find doing roads like this does help break up the grid pattern a little bit, and I'm trying to stay away from grids just a little bit. But for now, I think grids are nice for a good starting town. So we can just gonna add a few more blocks in here alongside this new road. And just continue zoning a little bit residential on these blocks here. A little bit of commercial in between these areas, so I think there would be nice with a nice little path running through. And just trying to find a nice area for a primary school. And I'm thinking this little section here would be quite nice. I think maybe we can squeeze in a park here as well once we unlock them. So just going to sit here and speed this up, watch these new zones come in as we are about to hit our next milestone. And there we go, we've already hit our second milestone of Worthy Village. We've unlocked a new square, which we're not going to unlock just yet. Some districts, and I think we're going to change our industry to either forestry or some agricultural specializations. So making a nice ring around our first residential area here with a nice buffer. And obviously we're going to upgrade these to either a highway or a highway-like road. They are going to cause a little bit of noise pollution to these residences here, so I would like to just put some trees, pathways down in between these areas, and I think that would be a good place maybe to have the police department. It is giving good nice coverage to this whole area. And we have our fire stations, which we just about don't have enough money for, so I'm going to leave that for now. And while I'm here waiting, I'm going to zone this area as a district. We do have a good abundance of trees here, so I think we're going to turn this into a forestry industry specialization. And I'm actually going to have them more towards the industrial areas because these seem to burn down a little bit more quicker. And I'm going to have just a nice road coming off from here. You don't want to put it on the main road because the cars are going to come out and turn around and block traffic and just become annoying. So you want them off on a road on their own. There would be nice. There we go. So we're going to come back into districts and change this to forestry specialization. Now we're going to lose a good amount of money progress because these are all going to disappear and then rebuild themselves as forestry specialization. Just going to do a little bit more residences here. I'm taking into account that I will want to put another path just through here to connect these two up as walkable areas. So just going to leave them blank for now. And I might want to do the same here actually. So being thoughtful and planning through later on will help. Man, I do like blowing through my money. What is happening over here? Excuse me. Off-roading is not permitted. What is going on? Unemployed driving home. I think he's drunk too. Are you? No. Oh, wow. Okay. Kathleen. She needs to lay off the booze. Oh my god. Kathleen, hun, where are you going? It doesn't know. Oh, she disappeared. Yeah, I really do like to blow through my money at the beginning. Probably not the best thing to do, but I just, yeah, I can't help it. I'd also like to go and change this road here in the outside the front of the elementary to a normal road. Just to allow a little bit of parking here, because it looks like people are dropping their kids off at school. So we have more than enough money now to upgrade this road, which I'm going to do now. There we are, and that allows us to place a little bit more commercial here. And I'm just going to continue this straight just to about there. And then we're going to add on a road here. Ooh. Ooh. There we go, and I like that. One there as well, will do nicely. And let's do a little bit of commercial on this road a little bit more. So for now we're going to have to build this neighborhood back a little bit, but I'm not too sure where the highway is going to go, so I don't know how many blocks we can go back. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go get a dirt road and just sort of map out where I would like this to go. Oh, and we hit Tiny Town, goddamn. So Tiny Town is the one I actually wanted to get up to and then maybe stop here, because this is the nice detailing one. We've got some nice roads, pathways, quarries, keys, floodables, fencing, all the good things that we need. A nice high school. So I'm going to carry on doing the highway around the outskirts here. Hey, that is looking nice. I like that. Okay, great. And actually looking at this, we can go out a good couple more blocks. So I'm going to do that now. And I have to remember to change these to the more quiet roads, to stop people parking everywhere. So I'm going to do something that I've only started doing recently and actually take out a loan. Now I'm taking out a loan because I want to place down a high school and healthcare and then also have enough money to decorate. At the moment we only just about have enough money for a high school. So if we go into this tab, go to loans, and I'm going to take out a 60 grand loan, pretty substantial, but we can pay that back fairly easily. And just pause the game here because I want to try and figure out where I want the high school and where would be best. And I'm thinking about bus routes later in the game, and I'm thinking a nice road through here, through the center, down would be ideal for a nice bus route. And I want the high school to be on that bus route. I normally like using this nice high school here, but it is quite big and this is quite a small town. So I'm thinking of just using this high school here. Now to help give the high school a little bit of importance, I want to do something that I've seen a couple of times. I don't know if it was Cities by Diana or Interpreter that did this, but what we're basically doing is putting the road forward one and then placing a building down like a school or hospital, and in this instance we're placing down the high school. And then deleting that road and putting it one square forward, which gives us this big open sort of space and just makes the high school look a little bit different. And I quite like doing this actually. So place that down, delete that road, delete all of that. And then we just put our roads back and there we go. We have a little bit more space in front of the high school and the grey ground links up. And I think it just looks better. We can even put little trees or objects in the little gaps here. So if I just put a few this side and a few the other side, that will help make this building look just a little bit more unique. And we're still using vanilla, so we're not using mods like Move It. And yeah, it's just a way to make it look quite nice and different. So we're in the detailing time lapse now. First I'm doing the high school here. I didn't want to make it too big of an area because we have to remember this is a small town. And I wanted to do this high school surrounded by some residential and a little bit of commercial out the back here. So you can see I'm using a nice red pathway at the back here to give it a little pop of colour, make it stand out, and some line of trees out the back to make it look like they were placed on purpose. And just some fences to block off the residential area from the high school, give it a little bit of separation. I'm going through and just adding dirt pathways behind the houses just to give it a little bit of detail. I think it adds so much to the residential areas just to add a little bit of pathway at the back. And I'm using dirt instead of the normal pavements to give it a little bit more of a rural look. And I'm going around with a zigzag pathway just like I did in my modded series in Costa Zero. Just give the backways a nice little walkway and ease of access to the shops, and just connecting up to any pedestrian crossing that I can get to. Now I did lie, as you can see here, I did use some custom assets, but I actually made these myself in the asset editor. Unfortunately it's not available to console players, which I think is a real shame. They added 25 tiles but didn't allow access to the asset editor. Even if they're not adding mods to console, or no future plans of adding mods to console, I really think that adding the asset editor is a great way of giving the console players a little taste of the modding community. And as you see here, I've added a pathway to the industrial area just so people have a nice walkway to work instead of wanting to drive to work. And I'm just going through and adding a nice little green belt around the town and blocking off some of the noise pollution. Some of the parks didn't actually fit behind the elementary school, actually none of them did. So I'm just going ahead and creating my own custom park. I've just thrown in a couple of pathways that people probably won't even use. And then some of the playground equipment that is in the park area, and then just some trees for shade. And I think that looks a little bit better for the park actually. And you're seeing I'm being quite purposeful with some of the tree placements. Most of these big trees in these sections just look a bit random and wild, whereas some of them along the pathways from the inner area to the highway are a bit more straightened. And it's just to give that look again of these trees were purposefully placed, and it gives the Sims a little bit more a sense of security along with the lights that we've placed along the path. And yeah, I think it came out nice. And hopefully as you can see, I like to add emphasis to the buildings that I personally placed down, like the elementary school, the police station, the medical center. Oh crap, I forgot to place the medical center. That's fine. Just giving them a little bit of personality does massively add to it. So this high school here, we just place some trees, some pathways, a nice little park. It just makes it pop a little bit more instead of just placing it randomly in between houses, and I love doing that. And the houses around this area I want to make historical, the ones I like. Let's see what this one comes out as. Just to also give the whole residential area a more unique look. And I actually think not adding a park behind this made it look a bit better. We've made a bit more of a unique building by adding our own park. And same with the police station over here. I've not really done too many details, just sort of fenced it off, and I've placed it near the public outring sort of green area of park. Yeah, I think it's a nice placement, and I think a car park next to it suits it well. So along with the car parks as custom assets that I've made, I've also made a couple of other parks which are construction sites. I'm not going to be using them just yet. I think once we build up the town a little bit more and lay way to the fact that some areas are newer than other areas, I think it looks quite nice. We have little people walking around, and yeah, I think this would come in handy, especially as we get into more bigger areas with taller buildings. And I made a second one, let me just show you. It's very similar, but it's like a next stage in building, so it looks a bit more built up. So yeah, I like it. I'm really excited to use them at some point. I think they look great close up. And I'm just going to go through and make some of these historical, and I think I might want to change the pathway behind to match the more commercial areas. So if we upgrade them to a normal path, I think, how does that look now? Ah, yeah, I think that looks a lot better. That fits in the commercial area a little bit more, just separates it. So you can see the sound from the commercial buildings on the outskirts, and the higher roads has been buffered a little bit by the trees. Yeah, I think we've done a good job with that green outer ring there. And it should down the line also help defend against the noise from the highway that will surround this town at some point later down the line. So I've just turned the day-night cycle on just so I can see the band around the town here. I've placed some lights down around the pathways, just to offer some Sims some protection at night. I know that nothing bad can actually happen to the Sims, like crimes in the park, but you never know, it just adds a little bit to realism. So we do actually need a name for this first section of town here, with the green going around and just wrapping around the highway. So if you have any suggestions, please do leave them in the comments below. I do need names for this town. So I think that's where we're going to leave it for today, and next episode we're going to be looking at the town centre and building up towards the beach. If you have enjoyed this, or I have helped you today, please do leave a like, and please do consider subscribing. It does help a lot. And remember, we need town names. Thank you. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.